While we are waiting, I know we have one guest. She had sent me a question in email.
Okay.
So I am just going to say, so she's just asking, and I can't remember if we did this last time.
I never got back to her.
Oh, no, it was after.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So basically, after the first time you call and leave a message, about their experience, and the lead never calls you back, when you're leaving messages, are you leaving like the follow-up calls? Are you leaving messages as well in those follow-up calls? And what are you saying? Because now it's no longer about a user experience because you've already left that message, or are you leaving a similar type message?
Yeah. So my next follow-up message, you're saying, right? So my next follow-up message would be more so of like, okay, would be like, hey, it's Nick Moretti calling you. I just wanted to touch base just because I did send you an updated criteria to your email, and I just want to make sure that you received it. If not, and your criteria is totally changed, let me know. I'd be happy to send you a new list, an updated list right away to make sure I can showcase the properties you're interested in.
Okay. Perfect.
I've been getting a lot of people signing BRAs. I just got another one signing a BRA before showing the property. I think this is my fifth one now. Fourth or fifth one.
That's awesome.
I've been getting some listings from this. One's actually coming on the market on Thursday from it.
Mm-hmm.
So things are moving.
Good. That's great to see or hear.
Yeah. I'm just super crazy, and I'm just like dying in like tiredness right now. I think a lot of realtors are right now,
Yeah, no, for sure. It's getting exhausting, right? Especially just with the way the market's going. It's not as, it's never cut and dry anyway, but it's nowhere near just cut and dry, right? It's a lot of work just to find something and be able to get that offer in and get it accepted.
Stuff, Right? And then people are not pulling up at the first or second one because they need to understand. It's just like, oh, pain.
Yeah, no. I hear you.
But it's all good.
Imagine
but
others
why I'm telling you this is because I'm telling everyone on Facebook and, through this chat, like I go through the same issues.
Yeah. No, it's understandable. Now, I know a lot of them are going to be asking you as well, how is your dialogue with these people? Have you met them before they're signing that buyer agreement, or are you doing an online Zoom with them, or how does that conversation go where you're reeling them in to be confident to get that agreement signed?
So I think number one, it's like own your personality, right? Like own who you are, because people will feel more comfortable. Maybe you might rub people the wrong way, some people, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like be authentically you so people can trust you and know who you are, The people that I have been getting signings, buyer's rep and such like that is anywhere me having a conversation with them from 2 times to 5 times.
Okay.
You know what I mean? During that call, all I just say is, listen, remember, people don't know the process. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of bad agents out there, like a lot of bad agents out there. And I'm not calling anyone out, just throwing that out, but there's a lot of bad agents. Okay. So, the problem too is not a lot of people are following up the way that, if you follow up on my approach and you do it how I do it, not a lot of people are doing that, and you're already different from who you are. And I just let people know, like, listen, okay, cool, perfect. You're interested in this property. No problem. I am more than happy to showcase the property. So this is how it works under the COVID rules. So what we're going to have to do is I'll book the showing, but prior to, I need you to sign a buyer's representation agreement. And it's just saying that you and I are committed to each other, and I do a 6 months term. When are you looking to book a showing? I run over that real quick.
Okay.
And then after they tell me when they want to go showing, then I just go, okay, perfect. So all I need is you to just send me your driver's license, and then I'll let you know once we're confirmed with the appointment. Is everything good? Perfect. But I built a really good rapport, right? Like, Crystal, from you,
it's all the check-ins, right?
Yeah.
But it's building that relationship. Yeah.
It's even that first call that I have. Usually when I have someone on that first call, I'm on the phone with them anywhere between 7 to 30 minutes. You know what I mean? And like, I'm putting time and effort in that relationship. So when they call me and when they see a property they want to see, like, they know who I am. They know that I'm professional. They know that I'm being upfront and honest with them. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. So, and that's where, following up with your leads, regardless of what their timeline looks like, And would you say these individuals where you're getting a buyer rep signed, how long have they been in your system for, Nick?
Sorry, I'm just thinking.
Like if they're in your system,
anywhere between 60 to 200 days.
Yeah. Because you can see when they registered, right, as well, and you can like pull up like how many points of contact we've had with them, that sort of thing. But it's just so that those watching are understanding this isn't, Nick's get rich quick scheme, join his pipeline.
I don't get rich by people. I don't get rich by people closing their own deals, So
it's really being patient with people and building that trust and that rapport with them and giving solutions to their problems without expecting anything in return, right? It's really, putting yourself out there and, being the best you can, knowing you're not going to win them all. But at the end of the day, if you put forward your best foot every time, you can at least sit back and feel confident and being like, you know what, I did everything I could in this scenario. At the end of the day, it's not my decision who they decide to work with.
Exactly.
So it's,
So just to answer your question, the one that just signed the one or is going to be signing the one today, 194 days.
Yeah. So she's in there quite.
And I called her 3 times.
Yeah. Okay.
And like my last call was in November and she reached out to me because I'm still sending her emails. And remember, like I told people from day one, I hope you're using the campaign editor and template and putting people on the drips. Like, if you're not doing that, you're causing yourself pain, and all that money you're spending for AgentLocator, you might as well give it to like someone else, so they can use it because you're not following up with it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
You have to have your systems in place, right? You and me, Crystal, we both know this, right? But
and everyone's systems are going to differ. So you guys, whatever Nick does, that's what Nick does for him to achieve his results, right? Some of you guys may be on the calls a lot heavier than him, and you're making those connections a lot more frequent than Nick may be. So you may not need to piggyback on a campaign as much as somebody that's calling, but maybe not calling as frequently as you possibly could be. So there's always ways to leverage, and you are all your best own judgment of that, right? So it's like, I go in my system and I call for 2 hours every day. Boom, you're good. Your head should be above the water at that point, provided you've got your database organized. For the others who are like, maybe I get in there for 2 hours a week, or, half an hour a day, or if that, then that's where you may want to start looking at having systems in place to help with your follow-up.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, that's what it is. Like I put people on, like just on a service checklist, like an email goes out every week, right? One goes out a week, and then the next week a text message goes out, and then another one goes out the following week, because you don't know where people are at in their life. And like, I have over like 1,000, 1,100 like contacts, like leads. So it's like, I can't remember every single one. You know what I mean? So the more that you write notes, the more that you document, the more that you keep in check of your business, the better and more opportunities you will see.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. I have a question from Alina. Now, I'm not sure, you're only generating buyer leads right now, or do you have sellers coming in as well?
I remember it's like our sellers too, right? Not all of them, but some.
Well, no, I understand.
And I convert a lot of sellers from.
Are you running a specific campaign? Okay. So Alina was just asking if we can quickly go over how to deal with seller leads generated by AgentLocator.
So what I would do.
So if you're talking to a buyer lead and you're asking that question, essentially, do they own their home, or does this purchase require the sale of an existing home? How do you then, because it'd be kind of similar to that same perspective of, the seller is filling out a form for an on-outline evaluation versus on the buyer side, they're signing up for listing alerts because they're planning on moving. It's a little bit different in those senses. But if it is a seller, how would your dialogue go with that person in an attempt? And I know we did it on one call where you had a potential seller, but how would you, kind of swoop them in when they're looking for that evaluation to get yourself in the door, or at least, in some sort of video meet to walk through their house to provide them an evaluation?
Totally. So this is what I would say. Number one is before you do any of that and talking to your clients and whatever, number one, know your script, okay? Like inside and out. Because if you stutter, you're not going to get it. Number two is know the tools that Agent Locator gives you. So what I mean by that is like I put people on Nosy Neighbors. So for me, like me putting people on Nosy Neighbor campaign and what a Nosy Neighbor is just like saying, you know, hey, whenever a sale happens or a listing goes up or a sale happens in your neighborhood, you'll be the first one to know, right? So once you know these tools and what the value is from them, then you can put everything together, which is step three. So I can role play with you if that's okay, Crystal, just because it's easy, you know what I mean? Okay. Sure. So hey, Crystal, you know, thanks for coming on. I know that you know, we were chatting and you were telling me about your criteria, but you know, a real quick question that I just want to make sure so you know our transaction is super seamless is, do you need to buy or do you just need to sell before you buy?
Well, with the way the market's going, I'd feel more comfortable buying first than selling afterwards, just because I don't want to be stuck without a house.
Perfect. I totally understand. And you know what, with the limited inventory that we're having, and which is a seller's market right now, you know, you're not the only one that has that kind of concern, right? And I've helped many clients like that, so you won't be any different. But my question is from the list of homes that I'm sending you, have you seen anything that you do like?
I saw a couple that caught my eye. Yeah, they, you
Cool.
know, they kind of, you know, there's ones where I wish they were like, you know, two houses but in one, but nothing like super like I gotta go take a look, but definitely some that have caught my eye.
Okay, perfect. So the reason why I'm asking you this is because if you are seeing a few right now, then you know, there is more inventory coming out in the summer market, which we're just heading into now. So my fear is that if you said no to all that and you didn't have it, then that would be my fear. But if you're looking at properties, it sounds like it's, you know, you are finding things that you like. But let's take a step back for a second. You know, so it does sound that you do have to sell a house before you buy, whenever that is. Either you buy first and then sell, or sell then buy. You still have to sell a house, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. So I have a really good tool that I think will help you in your information stage. The tool that we have is actually called the Nosy Neighbor campaign, you know, because at the end of the day, we're all nosy neighbors, you know what I mean? And then, you know, and I just start laughing. And then I just go, you know, what's your address? Because what I can do is anytime a listing goes up or something sells in your neighborhood, you will be the first to know. So this is a great way while you're looking at homes on the market to see where your value is before I come in and do a quick tour and let you know and narrow down that range for you.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And then I take their information and I just ask, like, do you want a daily or weekly? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's just, that Nosy Neighbor, sold listings, any of you guys that get anyone, even if it's a buyer lead in your system, if you have a branded website or you're on the Treb feed currently that has the sold listings on the V2 option, offer that. You know, if you know they have a home, most of those homeowners are going to want to know what the homes in their neighborhood are selling for. And you're going to be able to see their activity and what they're looking at as well. Plus, you're getting their address.
Right. And now they trust you, right? Because no one's going to just give out an address, right? So, I mean, now you have some leverage, meaning like they're willing to talk to you. You provided some value. And think about this. There's a lot of people, even from the leads that I talk to, people are registering on so many websites and not even one person is giving the value that I'm giving them. So if I call them and I'm giving you them the value, I already locked them down. Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's where I, you know, from the beginning, it's like, know your scripts, know your tools that you are given, and put them all together. You know, so I think that's the super most important part. But remember, guys, you know, I'm a pro because I call every single day and I'm in my 6th year full time in real estate. Like, you know what I mean? I better be like this. If I'm not like this,
so that kind of brings us into the question there of Kara asking if we have any written scripts, which we don't. We don't actually encourage written scripts. Because if you're looking at a script all the time when you're calling somebody, for one, you're going to sound like a robot because you're reading. We've all had a call from somebody that we can identify they're reading a script. But two, you're never actively listening and engaged in that conversation you're having because you're always focusing on the script rather than the conversation. So I feel as though it's something that you are going to learn just through practicing. And that's what we do these live dials with Nick, with Beverly, because it's all about listening things in repetition. If we listen things in repetition, it just all of a sudden comes out of our mouths, but maybe our own little spin on it, right? We start to feel like what we're comfortable saying.
Exactly.
And confident in how we're delivering it and things like that. So it's really, you know, kind of taking the key points of what information do I need to try to achieve from this individual, and what information should I be offering them, and what information do I have or services that I can be offering them.
Right.
And then those sold listings. So I've even done it where calling a lead and they've already purchased. Oh no, we already purchased, you know, congratulate them. Still try to get them on the nosy neighbor.
Exactly.
We say, well, I have this great feature and it's entirely up to you if you're interested in it, but what it's going to do and da, 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 da. They just have their brand new investment. Who wouldn't want to know how the value is increasing right out of the gate? Right? The value could have gone up 20, 30K in just the closing period, or even more, depending on the market, right? So it definitely, and those people are going to transact again. So unless you plan on hanging up your license within the next 6 months, then you're building a database, right? So you're staying in front, and you're going to be able to see their activity when they're looking at those listings, giving you a reason to follow up with them down the road as well. So
exactly. And then to ask Elena's question, or Elena's question, is you go to account and then street match. That's how you put
in your
system.
So if Elena, you have a branded website with us, then you'll have that. Yeah, it's just right in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then number one, guys, is like, you know, a lot of people don't connect on the call. Like, I mean, the whole point to call these people is basically like face-to-face, right? Like, I know that it's not face-to-face, but sometimes when you have a really good conversation, you know, it sounds like it's a face-to-face conversation, you know what I mean? But I think the problem that a lot of agents have is they don't connect. Like, a lot of people are just so hungry for the sale, they don't even care about the individual. And like, you know, my approach is like, I don't care about the sale, I care about you. Like, that's it. And I do though, like, I'm not feeding bullshit. Like, I don't care, you know what I mean? So I think when you start, you know, come through service rather than like, you know, for yourself, like, you know, a lot of magical things happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's again kind of disconnecting yourself from the overall goal at the end of this all. You're going to be a lot more relaxed in your conversations that you're having. And when you kind of just don't care if you get the business or not, you're going to come across a little bit more confident as well, right? 100%. Not as eager. If you're so eager to make the transaction, guess what? Even if you think you're calm, they can hear in the tone and the way you're asking questions and what have you. And that eagerness to try to gain the transaction comes off as desperate. And people will just steer away from you because we've all had somebody that's like, you could tell they're just trying hard to push the sale on you.
Yeah, like they don't have your best interest, like you were saying, Crystal, you know, and people are people. Like, if you feel that from people, like, you know, chances are, you know, they feel it from you as well, right? So it's just like, you know, right now, especially more than ever, like with COVID, everyone's in a frantic, you know, place in their life right now. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to call and just saying, hey, like, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, exactly.
Oh my God,
it's just, you know,
so much more.
Just think of it as you're calling your friends.
I do all the time.
And it gets so much easier, trust me, because if you're talking to a lead and opportunity presents itself, and I say this over and over again to everyone, if opportunity presents itself to talk about something other than the reason you're calling, talk about it. So if they're, you know, they're driving their kids to hockey, you start talking about hockey, you know, oh, how many kids you got? Oh, they all in hockey? Oh, like, you know, let them talk about that. Their walls will drop completely, but you're taking notes and essentially you're going to leverage that. I know there's no hockey right now, but that's just an example. I had a lady that had a couple of dogs, and so she was looking for a place that was going to be, you know, ideal because she has 2 large dogs. Talk about her dog. I talked about her dogs. My God, I couldn't get her off the phone.
I know, right?
So it's really, and all of that stuff, you're putting notes in the system. So the next time you're calling back, it's like you're checking in on a friend.
100%.
How are the dogs doing? Yeah. How is, you know, what are their names again? If you never got those names. Yeah. Right. And it's like calling a friend back. They're going to be way more receptive to your follow-up calls when you are checking in with them. And it's building that relationship, right? So it's building that trust at that point. They're going to feel that much more committed to you and obligated towards you, to work with you when you're building those connections with them.
I agree. And like another story too, recent story actually, there was a lead that I had that I was able to get my second opinion in and do well. And they ended up liking me, whatever. I showed them hot properties. But when time came to actually put everything up, you know, they had prior commitments with someone because it was just a relationship. So, you know, I obviously didn't get the business, which was a little bit of, you know, upsetting. But at the end of the day, I didn't take it on the client. It is what it is. I still was positive with them. I still, you know, whatever. And because of that, I got 2 referrals. One's a buy and one's a sell and a buy from the same person because they felt bad, right? Probably, you know, and they know that I gave good service and I was correct with all my information. So what I'm trying to say is like sometimes you might miss opportunities, but you might have gained a fan that will help you, you know? So, you know, just don't count everybody out. Like just treat people like you would treat yourself at where they are in their life, right? And just try to help people because there's so much negative energy out there. If you're positive, people get attracted to positive energy and they'll just keep sending things your way.
And you can put it out there too. You put it out there to the universe. It may sound a little bit wonky to those that are watching, but if you take a minute before you start making your calls, and one of the things that you can do is essentially you close your eyes and you envision your best self. What does that look like? Who is my best self? And then it's like you visualize that best self and that energy going out into like covering the world, whether it's like going into your neighborhood and like, you know, like one of those, you know, scary movies where the fog rolls in. It's kind of like that energy is going to take over. And then your mindset is, I'm going to talk today. I'm pulling in people. This is my ideal customer. My ideal customer is this and this and this. And you just start to kind of put it out there as to what you're looking for.
Exactly.
And it's kind of bizarre, but when you call people, it'll almost be like the ones that answered will be the ones that are following the fact that, you know, they possess that attribute of what you're looking for in the client and that type of person that you would want to work with. It's a bizarre thing, and I've tried it before, and it actually worked. I was like, this is so strange. I put it out, and I can't even remember what it was about that I was calling for. It was for something else, and you know, the kind of person I'd be looking for that I'd probably do best in business with, and that was the exact person who happened to reach out to me, and I was just like, wow, like they reached out to me on Messenger, and I was like, this is weird, but it worked apparently. Whether it's like a real or a coincidence, I don't know, but you know, something happened that made that person send me a message. And he even said it was by accident. He's like, I didn't even mean to send you a message. I was like, well, something was out there that made him. I was putting those feelers in the universe there for you to reach out to me. So that's where you accidentally push that button.
Totally. So, and the thing is too, is like, you know, you're totally right, Crystal. It's all about mindset. And like, if you were going to go in thinking like, you know, oh, my calls are not going to be good, like they're not going to be good. Like whenever I call, like, even though like sometimes I don't want to, I just get myself motivated and be like, okay, perfect. Like after the first call, it probably gets a little like whatever. And then the second, third is much better, you know, because you're just in the mood again with it. And plus, once you have a really good conversation with someone, it's just like brightens your day. I mean, mine at least, right? Like all I do is sit on the phone and show houses and write offers, but you know what it is.
No, put music on, like do something that pumps you up. Like I listen to all different kinds of music, but there's 100%. It's funny because if I'm like listening to like Steve Aoki, his music for some is like super noisy, right? But like for me, like some of it's like going and it just gets my mind thinking positive things and all these things I want to accomplish and and then I'm pumped. If I'm doing something, I'm in a way better mood while I'm doing it because I've just thought of all these positive things I want to do with my life. And then that behavior that you're feeling or those emotions you're feeling is actually transpiring through your conversations.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
that's a little tidbit. So we've been discussing,
going?
Yeah, we'll get on some calls here and see what happens today.
All right. 1 second here, guys. Okay, let's hope I know what I'm doing again.
Should we share your audio?
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, shit. Where did I do this again? Share computer sound. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like a little lost here.
No worries.
See, I'm just like everybody else too. I get lost. Don't worry. Okay, let's get this. And I usually have a notepad and I just like write things on this notepad. Doodle, whatever you want to do, but it's good to write.
The customer you are calling is unavailable at the moment. Please try again later. L'abonné que vous désirez joindre ne peut vous répondre en ce moment.
Okay.
And again, for those who are you using your earbuds again?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. So because he's using his earbuds, yeah, just so you guys know, sometimes it sounds like he's cutting people off or hanging up on them. He is not. It's just a delay because he's using his earbuds on our side of things. Yeah. Got some fun names.
I go through hard stuff too. You're not the only one.
Hello?
Hi, is Malele available?
Who's this?
It's actually Nick Moretti calling. Actually was just calling just to reach out to actually thank you so much for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just wanted to make...
Oh, right now I'm at the doctor's office.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can you give me a call? Like maybe in 1 hour?
Yeah, I'll call you in an hour. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Bye.
Perfect. So another thing that I have been really doing, and I think is really good for all you guys at home doing this, is when you guys set a task, right? Like this person wants me to call her back in an hour, so we'll just, I just do follow up call. And what's really good about this is you get to see this on your calendar. I never really knew this, and I know Crystal always laughs at me, but honestly, it's like the best thing ever. Because like then you already go into your day knowing who you need to call first or when you need to call. So like, how do you see that? So you see the thing here, you go to task notifications and then go to calendar. And then you already can start loading up your days. You know what I mean? To me, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Hey, is David available? Is David available?
Who are you asking for?
Hey, is David available?
Hello?
Hello. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Wrong number.
That was brutal.
She's having a party over there.
I know, man. Where are you partying up?
2:30 happy hour.
I know, right? There is probably a David, you just can't remember right now. No, So remember, guys, it's important to, you know, write it as a wrong number. As you see, I put in invalid, and then I have my things here. So this is bad info because the email is good. So I put garbage when both of the things are bad. But when I look here, like, okay, he's been seeing some. So what I would do is I would go to my e-campaigns right now, and I would go into buyer try to follow up. So when I do this, it's a combination of text messages and email. To go out and just to touch base. Like my first one is just saying, you know, hey, David, hope all is well. There has been new inventory on the market. Have you looked at the updated list of home I sent you? Let me know which homes you're interested in. And then Nick Moretti, you know? So like these little things, right? And it takes time to do this. But what I challenge people to do is just go back into your text messages and your scripts that you do to follow up and just put it on paper. That's all this is. But like, I wouldn't worry about like, you know, writing one and then figuring out how to do the other one. What I would do is I would write like a few variations of an intro, and I would write a few variations of like, have you seen the list yet? You know, like a few variations of those so you can piece them all together.
Your campaigns, just so you guys know, and we can definitely cover this more on tomorrow's leveraging webinars, but when you're sending emails out or text messages, the shorter, the sweeter, the better.
Exactly.
They come off as being more realistic. If you guys are creating campaigns and they're full-fledged, like page-long emails,
no,
the end reader doesn't take them as you trying to get a hold of them. It's like it's a newsletter, right? Whereas if you have like 2 sentences or a sentence, then it's like you just shot them that email, and they're more likely to respond to that because they feel like you actually just personally just sent them that email.
Totally. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'll go to the next one. You're just giving some fire, so just have to let you finish. All right. I don't know what's happening here. Okay. I'm just gonna hang up. I don't know what happened there. Hey, is Michael available?
Hello.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Speaking.
I'm good.
I'm
good.
doing good. How are you?
This is actually Nick Moretti calling. I was just calling just to actually reach out to you to say thank you so much for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just wanted to make sure you had a great user experience. Were you able to find the homes that you were looking for?
We're still looking. We've done a lot of homework here. A lot of legwork here now.
And in this market is tough
no,
too,
we haven't
right?
Yet. When it gets hot, it cools down after a while.
Yeah. See, the problem is it's hard to know, when it's going to cool because, the reason why prices are going up this much is because we have low inventory, right? And just to show you how much low inventory we have, we actually have, like, picture last year, we have half the inventory that we did last year, but we have way more buyers, right? So, as you and I both know, the only way that this happens for prices to come back down is when the supply comes there. And the only way that happens is everyone putting on the house on the market, which is not going to happen, and just waiting for the pre-construction. But pre-construction materials are starting to go up so much, and this is kind of what's going on in our world right now, But I just wanted to make sure that, I'm sending you the right information that you're looking for. Are you only, because you put in that you were looking at homes in Clarington, are you only looking at homes in Clarington, or is there other areas of interest that you might want to include?
If there's anywhere else, like say, level for the east, I don't mind going. Clarington is fine. What about the other one for
like Port Hope, Coburg, or like Peterborough?
I can't. No, forget. No, we went to Port Hope already. I'm not going outside. No, I got to think of what I'm traveling to anyway if I have to travel out to there.
I totally agree with you.
No, Port Hope is fine. Is out of the question. And
would you consider Oshawa?
I try to remember the place. We looked at Oshawa. Oshawa is certain parts of Oshawa, North Oshawa is nice. When you go any further, you know, certain areas are kind of, you know.
I totally understand.
Oshawa reminds me of years ago of Scarborough. But Scarborough is a lot better now.
I know what you mean, right? Because when prices go up, you know, unfortunately, the people who don't really make the best life choices, you know, they have to go somewhere after because they don't have the money, right? So everything gets pushed up, which is good because it cleans up the city. But I mean, you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
So are you looking for only like kind of 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom homes?
Yeah, something like that.
And are you only considering detached, or would you consider like semis or anything like that?
No, detached.
Okay, cool.
Detached.
Perfect. And then, if you don't mind me asking, what was the price range you want to stay in between? Because I don't want to send you things that you don't want to see. You know what I mean?
No, don't you pass 800.
Okay, cool. No worries. Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll send you that just so you can see what's going on. And if you have any questions or if you want to see a property or anything, just let me know. I'd be happy to help you. You know what I mean? Okay, cool, Michael. Thank you so much. And, you know, stay safe and let me know if you need anything at all. Hey,
and
my
you
pleasure,
too.
Michael.
Thanks
Take
for calling.
Bye.
Bye.
Perfect. See how easy that was? But remember, like, you don't want to keep people on the phone that, like, you know, like, it seems like he was busy he was probably at work or doing something. But remember, you want to just say, hey, this is who I am. I want to just connect with you, make sure all's good. You know, how's that criteria? Cool. Like, you know, I gave him a little bit more about the market because he wants to wait till the market cools down. By that time, it's going to be 3 years and prices are going to go up like 400,000 average price.
Yeah.
So I had to do a little bit of, you know, understanding and education. And that's why he gave me more time to talk. You know what I mean? Because I proved that I was a professional.
So Laura is asking, so now after that call, what was this guy's timeline?
I didn't know.
We don't know.
I didn't ask.
Timeline. Okay.
I didn't ask.
So in general, how long would you wait to call this guy back?
So what I would do is I would update his criteria, and then I would send him the list, and then I would call him in a day or two, just to make sure everything is good and life is good, you know?
Yeah.
Because people want to be serviced, right? So like you calling and just saying, hey, like I sent you the list. I understand where you're coming from. I get it. I just want to make sure I'm sending you homes that you want to see. And then my line is, I don't want to be like all the other agents that are sending you properties that you are just putting in junk or trash. Like, I totally don't want to be that person. I want to earn your business. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I found out a lot of information, like 3 beds, 3 baths. He only wants detached. You know what I'm saying? Under 800. Sorry, I have to make my notes here. So then what I would do, guys, is I would do, because everyone's looking here, I would put this as buyer and leave it there. But remember, sometimes you don't want to ask all the questions up front because then it gives you a reason to call back and build more of a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yes, we have to build the relationship.
You have to play the game, right? Like you have to kind of like, you know, it's like dating. Like sales is like dating. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is like when you're dating someone, you take consideration of how the other person feels. You're not just about you. I mean, if you like the person, right? Like if you don't.
You tell when you like the person or if you tolerate them.
Right. So if there's any player plays here, man, like I'm telling you, just get your scripts together and you guys will do well.
Yeah.
All right. Let's call Harpreet over here.
You have reached
Josh Bullied.
Please leave your message after the tone. After leaving a message, you can hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey Josh, hope you're doing well. I just wanted to reach out to thank you again for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just want to make sure you were able to find the homes that you were looking for. My number is 416-559-5301, and I look forward to chatting with you. Take care and stay safe. Bye. Probably not the right person, but shot in the dark. What do you have to lose? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've been slacking on my calls. I have so many people to call. Jeez. See, I'm just like all you guys, man.
Hello, it's Carlos Chatto. Please leave a message after the tone.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey Carla, hope you're doing well. It's actually Nick Moretti calling. I was just calling to reach out to say thanks so much for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just wanted to make sure you were able to find the homes that you were looking for. My number is 416-559-5301, and I look forward to chatting with you to send you an updated list of homes that you do want to see. Take care and have an awesome day. Bye.
It sounded like a kid.
I know, right? I sound like such a girl sometimes with my soft voice. Like it's such a it's so funny. It's so funny. I probably sound so weird on the other line. They're probably like, who the hell are they talking to? Then they Google me. They're like, this is the kid, really? Anyone else have any questions at all, or no? It's pretty good.
No, I think we're good so far. Hello.
Hey, is Michelle available?
This is.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. This is actually Nick Moretti calling. I just wanted to reach out to you to thank you actually for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure you had a great user experience. Were you able to find the homes that you were looking for?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where I got you from because I'm actually working with the realtor,
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
I don't want to give you the wrong impression.
Yeah, no worries,
So
no worries.
I seen I didn't want to ruffle any feathers here. I was wondering where you started coming in giving me listings. I'm like, how the heck did I have this happen? But
so yeah, I have another website, and
I must have gone on it to look for something at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for being upfront and honest with me about that.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're pretty happy with your realtor right now?
I am.
Perfect.
Actually.
Perfect. Well, what I'll do is, Michelle, I really appreciate the honesty. What I'll do is, I don't mind you using the website for looking at other stuff, because at the end of the day, if you go to other websites, they're going to make you put their info in.
Right.
Did you want me to set you up on a criteria just so you can have it? Like, I understand where you're at. I get it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Should I just leave you on the criteria that you set up? What you set up was, sorry, I'm just looking here. My apologies. You set up just in the cottage. You were looking for like cottage, rural, and semi-detached, but you didn't really put a location. Is there a location you're looking for?
What did I put? Cottages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm looking for a house, but I don't know why I put in a cottage for the search.
What I can do is, once you log in next time, you can put in your own criteria of what you're looking for, just if you want to, and then at least then you can get those type of listings sent to you, you know what I mean? And I understand you're working with another agent. You were upfront. Thank you so much. Yeah. But, just so it saves you the calls from a bunch of people, you know what I mean? Feel free to do that.
I think I originally started looking for new homes, like the homes that aren't even built yet, and I think I must have gone on to cottages from there.
Yeah, not a big deal, honestly, Michelle. No, not a big deal. But thanks for being honest, and stay safe and have an awesome day.
Okay, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
So I was a little bit wasting my time there, but like I said, you're never wasting your time. And sometimes you got to ask if they're happy with their agent. If she said no, then there would have been opportunity, right? And remember, she gave me authority to call her because she set up an account with me. So, you know, and I was respectful about it. I wasn't talking, you know, ish or anything, right? So. And like I said, it's about being nice because you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe later on she doesn't like working with that agent, and it has happened to me before. And
there's all different scenarios where they fire their agent for whatever reason it may be, or they were never actually committed to them in the first place. So
exactly. Don't be scared. Like, you're not breaking laws or anything, right? Like, just be respectful. That's all you got to do. And then I just put buyer working with a WWAR is working with a realtor. So I know where she's at. Louis, how the hell do you say this? L-U-Y. Sorry, something's happened here.
Hello, Greg and Lennox.
Hey, is Lou available?
Lou, maybe you have the wrong number.
Okay, my apologies. Take care.
No problem at all. Yeah.
Okay, bye. I don't even think I said the name right, so. So this one here, if you guys can't see because it's blurred, the red in the email is not right. So the number's not right. So I would mark this invalid, and I would put garbage as well afterwards. I would go bad info, and then I would put garbage and say bye, and then I would put garbage over here. I don't got time for that. All right. Tina.
Hi, you reached Tina. Please leave me a name, your number, and a brief message, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, Tina. Hope you're doing well. It's actually Nick Moretti calling. I just want to reach out just to thank you so much for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just wanted to make sure you were able to find the homes that you were looking for, as well as having a great user experience. My number is 416-559-5301, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care and have an awesome day. Bye. Left voicemail.
Message JP22. The number you have called is no longer in service.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. Okay, e-campaign. Any questions? I know it's like all eyes on me right now, but no? Okay.
No.
I thought. But,
Hey,
hello?
is this Dorothy?
No, it's not.
No? Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Bye-bye.
She looked like she was having a great time.
She's having a party with the other one.
I know.
Someone is asking what the average return rate is. Do you feel like on leaving a voice message?
25%, 30% callbacks.
Okay.
That's why I always switch my voicemails up. And like, remember, voicemails are only going to do well if I put like urgency. I mean, in my voicemails, they're not urgent. They're just more customer service. But I don't know. I think with everything going on now, I don't think people like the aggressive approach. I could be wrong though.
Please leave a brief message, and I will get back to you. And have yourself a great day.
Hey, Rabia, this is Nick Moretti calling. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to call you to thank you so much for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just want to make sure you had a great user experience. My number is 416-559-5301, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care and have an awesome day. Bye. Honestly, I say this so much now that I'm just like, I can like draw and do everything now. And I know what I'm saying. Okay, unsubscribed.
Hello.
Hey, is Beverly available?
Yep.
Hey, Beverly, how you doing?
All right.
This is actually Nick Moretti calling. I just really want to call you just to reach out to thank you so much for coming onto my website on MorettiRealEstate.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hi.
and I just want to make sure you had a great user experience. Were you able to find the homes that you were looking for?
Sorry, you know what? I have been looking at
A million
several
sites?
things. Yeah, and unfortunately, everything it's telling you have to like put in your information. Sorry, which site is this one?
No worries. It's Moretti Real Estate, and that's why I was reaching out because I know, 9 times out of 10, whoever usually comes onto my website are kind of going on other people's as well because they're just trying to get information, right? Because you're in the information stage.
Exactly.
I
And
totally
unfortunately, you can't just get information just like that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants you to sign up.
And then you get
Which
probably
is
realtors calling
unfortunate.
you, be like, buy now, right? So people are crazy right now. But I just wanted to let you know, and that's why I was reaching out, because I want to kind of make that criteria for you and update it for you. So you're not going on so many, websites and giving your information that you don't care to give out. What are you looking for, if you don't mind me asking?
Right now it's kind of, how do I explain this? Have a home.
Okay.
Married, separated,
Okay.
but living in the same house.
Okay.
Not really planning on moving right now. I have a condo also that has tenants, and we look at that maybe another year.
Nice.
But I have another property that we just sold, just waiting to close in a couple of weeks. So I wanted to use that money my part of that money
to do something, right?
Buy
Yeah.
to buy something else that I could potentially be moving into in, I don't know, 7-8 years time.
Yeah, no, I totally
because
understand.
I still have young kids, and I'm in Brampton. I still have young kids. I don't want to.
Yeah. You don't want to ruin that yet, right?
Uproot that right now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I totally understand.
So in terms of that's where I'm at. And in terms of location, that's not set. I just know I can't afford Brampton.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question, if this is okay. How much did you want to spend? And then I can kind of dictate where it is in today's market. I know that you're not looking till later on. I totally understand. But just so I can help gauge you.
No. I'm looking now.
Okay. My apologies.
I don't want. So it can be bought and be rented out. But I'm not looking to myself to physically move into it.
Okay. My apologies. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No. Like honestly, I do not even want to think about over 7. But I don't even, because I'm doing this on my own. But I don't even know if that's even possible.
Yeah.
I just saw something I just signed up for. I don't know if it was your side.
Yeah. No.
Something out in Paris.
Okay.
Is that you?
Yeah. No, because you put stuff in Clarington. So like when you came on, you set up your search. So yeah.
Yeah, because I start. Is that the Bowmanville area one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's Bowmanville.
That's me.
Yeah. And are you a Dodger or somebody?
Am I a Dodger?
Dodger?
No. Nick Moretti.
Wait, something keeps sending me emails for some Dodger or somebody. Hi, this is Dodger.
That's not me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's sort of where I'm at.
Okay. Cool. If you don't mind me asking,
it's soft looking right now.
Yeah, I totally understand. And hey, Beverly, like I understand that it takes 3 to 18 months for a real estate deal to come together, because there's so many things that come through, right? And everything has to be seamless, right? And fit into each other. So, I totally understand you're in the information stage, but to give you a little bit of a rundown on what's happening in the market and where your probably best investment would be is really and truly, like, how much did you want to spend?
Honestly, no more than 7.
No more than 7. Okay,
if that's
cool.
even possible.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough in like the major cities, unless you're buying a condo unit, right? That's totally different.
Yeah.
But what is your investment strategy? Are you looking to get something where you can rent the main floor and basement, or are you looking to just get something to rent to a whole family, or just to a couple? Like, is there anything that you guys been giving thought of to?
Honestly, I would like a house. I know it's going to be able to be a detached. I'm even fine with a townhouse, because I'm looking at this as something that will be for me in the future.
Yep, I totally understand. Right? You're doing it right.
Bungalow would have been preferred, but obviously those are a few. You don't really get those too often.
Yeah.
Just thinking of getting old and scared.
Totally.
But but I mean, having a detached, it definitely would be a downside, but I know going forward, kids growing up, I wouldn't need to have a big, 3,000, 2,500 square foot house. That would not be necessary. I don't need a matchbox either.
Okay.
But at the same time,
you just want something for the best bang for your dollar, essentially. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like.
It has to look cute. It has to look cute too.
Yeah.
But,
I hear you. I totally understand. I'd be looking the same thing. You're looking more a little bit turnkey, right? Where you don't have to do too much to it, and like you can get it taken care of and done. So when you do come through, then you can either take some money out of the house, renovate it the way you want to do it, and live happily ever after. You know what I mean? But
something like that.
If you're looking for 700 and under, to be honest, if you're looking for detached, like Clarington wouldn't be that, because the average price in Clarington is $845 right now. And then Oshawa right now is like 760, and then everything else like Pickering is like $1,013,000, Ajax is like high 9s, Whitby's the same, right? Yeah. So would you consider? Brampton's a little bit more expensive, and so is Oakville and stuff like that. But would you consider like Coburg, because you could buy a nice detached house there? It's by the beach, which is great because it brings tourists down there. You know what I mean? And they're still doing pretty well because they're still going up, because what's happening is all the major cities are getting like super expensive, so and more competition, so it's making buyers go a little bit further to get a little bit more bang for their dollar. You know what I mean?
Let me see how far that is.
Coburg from Clarington is probably another 40 minutes or 30 minutes. 40 minutes from okay.
No, well, I'm not even. I'm in Brampton.
So it'd probably be about 2 hours.
Anything I'm looking at, let me just see. Coburg.
It'd probably be like an hour 45, 2 hours. But that's where the dollars are, right? Because realistically, if you're looking for 700, like you're not even going to get an attached house where we're at, unless it's Oshawa. Which is okay, but the thing is like you're getting into the bare minimum of the market in there. Do you know what I mean? So you're not going to get something turnkey as you would want it to be.
Yeah.
Just to give you information, right? Like just because I want to put you in the right direction, you know.
Okay.
So what I'll do then, if that's okay, is I'll stick you onto Clarington still, Oshawa, and then if it's okay, can I add you to Port Hope and Coburg just so you can see the value down there? And if you don't want it, you can let me know. Say, hey Nick, take it off, and I'll take them off. No problem. But
no problem.
I think since you're in the information stage, like if I were you, I would want to see, you know, the area I'm interested in, the surrounding areas, you know. Just so you know, right? And you've worked with a lot of agents, you know, in the past, so you know, I just want to make sure I'm providing like that top level service for you. You know what I mean?
Okay, I appreciate that.
Cool. Well, I appreciate all your time. Thank you so much, Beverly. What I'll do is I'll put you on that search shortly, and then if you see anything you like or you have any questions, please let me know, and I'd be happy to help you.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, and stay safe.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I locked this girl down. Now it's just a follow-up game. And I love following up. But how did you feel like that conversation went? I thought she wasn't going to give me info. But.
No, she was very hesitant at first. And that's, you know, something for you all to understand is when you do get on the phone, people are going to be hesitant to talk to you. So it's really just relaxing in that conversation and listening and trying to provide a solution, right? Something that's going to be of interest to them or help them with the problem that they're facing. Because reality is a lot of people won't take the time with them to educate them on what they're looking for isn't a reality in where you're looking. But here's what we can do to find you something, or here's what needs to happen to make it a reality to you. Are you open to it, right? And so that education aspect goes a long way because it helps to bring that trust that, hey, this guy is he's listening to my issue here, and the problem that I'm having is trying to find a solution for me.
Right. And the other thing is she already put on so many websites. She thought I was someone else. And now that I know, now that I took the time to call her, see how she's doing, you know, thanking her for coming on the website and then kind of altering her search to make sure it's what she's looking for, she's going to remember me, you know, and that's what you want, because you don't want to be calling 2 weeks, 3 weeks later or whatever and be like, who is this again?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is, let me just see here. I think we have a couple questions and then we have to hop off. But Nikki is asking, how many times do you use text messaging service? Like, initially you're calling your leads. Do you ever leverage like mass texts? I know you put them in your campaigns to assist with follow-up.
I don't do too many, no.
But it's more of like jumping on the phone and actually speaking to people.
Yeah. And like, that's what I was telling in the beginning of the conversation, like create those scripts already for you so that when you're trying to piece like a new one together, you already have like 5 to 10 different options on how to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Because basically me putting people on e-campaigns is basically like a mass. I mean, I know it's not like me clicking on it, but I'm putting every single person on it. So it's like a mass, but maybe one person has a day or two delay, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Nick might not be the best person to ask this question, but we will see. How do you determine which calls to make? Is there a strategy, or do you just hit everyone? Is there a specific order?
So I just call, what I do is I first call the people that I maybe be behind on who registered first on my website that just recently came in. And then after that, what I do is I will go to see who's currently active on my website in the last 2 days. And then I start calling those and following up or sending messages to those to let them know that I'm still looking out for them. And then after that, I'm just calling people that I haven't touched base with yet.
Now, I can't see name because it says anonymous attendees. So you should have a safe filters in your system, which help guide you through who you should be calling. we can create more filters for you. So we kind of do it more of a tiered training because we really need to make sure that you're logging everything first in order for additional filters to really work for you. Because a lot of the stuff in here when we're creating filters is dependent on call logging or SMS logging in the system. So if you have an assigned trainer, you can definitely reach out, or even just reach out to myself and I can make it happen, where we kind of go through, and I'm doing with several people right now, but it's like a tiered training. So it's like going through, okay, here's the first part of the training. Now we're going to loop into the second, and strategically adding more components on for you so that it's not throwing everything at you all at once. So your trainer will have that ability to create additional filters or kind of go through those aspects and seeing what you are doing, giving you some homework, then having another session. That homework gives you that accountability that you now have to actually do something, and then going through the second step. And then that second step, sometimes we need a third session, really depends on the individual, but you start to see how things come together, needless to say. But, exactly. But yeah, so it's always like progressively doing things so that it all comes together at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Needless to say.
But it takes time, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I know I make it seem seamless, but remember, guys, like I put like more than 10,000 hours into AgentLocator. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get there too. Don't get caught up on the mistakes that you guys do. Just get caught up on your follow-up and just keep creating good habits. Like, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you have Crystal. Like, Crystal is really good. I mean, I ask stupid questions to Crystal all the time. So like, I mean, I'm sure she's okay with it, but I mean, she's a great teacher, and, you know, she's helped me out so much. And yeah, like, she's there for us, right? So, you know, if you guys have any questions or you guys don't know how to do anything, like, you guys have some really good support.
Awesome. Perfect. So that is it for today.
Perfect.
So we will see everyone in a couple of weeks. And again, if any of you all want Nick to dial your leads, just shoot me an email. It's Crystal, just like the gem, at agentlocator.ca. I'll put you in the queue. Otherwise, you can always listen in. He'll call his leads. You can listen to that happen. And we have these discussions and answer any questions that you guys may have.
Exactly. And if you guys want to ask me any direct questions, just follow me on Instagram, Moretti Real Estate, and ask away.
Perfect. Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thanks, everyone.
Well, bye, guys. Thank you so much.
You have a fantastic day. Bye, everyone.
You too. Bye.
Bye.